Hey kids, here we are, Movie Club Monday. We are continuing our year-long project of, I think this will be the project. I don't think we might go back to another specific genre thing. I don't know. Where we're torturing each other, picking movies that we want the other people to watch. I'm Frank Gaffney. Here with me is Amy Goldman, Joel Fenster. No Cousin Vinny stuff in the background.
I don't have shit from every movie ever made.
Wow.
What?
You have to have at least a box from My Cousin Vinny.
I left the Blu-ray downstairs. I'm sorry.
Goodness.
All you had to do was put up a can of tuna.
Oh, it's in
How it all began.
In my pocket.
It's in his pocket. And Mark Wotitz Gartner, who has a still from the movie there. And Annie King, who is sitting in Linda, what's her name? Friedman? Kaufman. Linda Kaufman's closet.
Friedman, same thing.
Iceberg. All right. Okay, so this week we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of My Cousin Vinny, which was the #1 movie at the box office this week in 1992. Annie.
Why is it old?
This was your choice.
Yes. So
Why?
I didn't actually see this in the movie theater. I came to it much later on, and we were watching. So we watched it with the kids. We go away, and my friend Doug has this projector and the movie, and he puts it up on the screen. The kids sit outside and stuff and watch it, and we just found it hilarious. The kids were at that right age to watch it and get like the jokes and everything. And ever since then, it's just a remote dropper. And Morgan was saying like, oh, I should come on because I could just do the entire movie and we could just play off of each other for the entire thing.
Where is she? Morgan, come on in.
Yeah, she's at a comedy show tonight. So
for those of you who don't know, Morgan is Annie's daughter. This is a comedy show. Come on.
Yes, it is. But she got tickets to go see Jeff Dunham.
So let me tell you a little bit about the movie. If you've never seen it, New York lawyer Vincent LaGuardia Gambini had never won a case in his whole 6 weeks of being a lawyer. His teenage cousin, Ralph Macchio, who is right off of Karate Kid, right? This is right around the same time, no?
8 years later. 84, wasn't it?
Later. And his friend Stan, I have no idea who that was.
He played Rachel's ex-fiance at the beginning of Friends, the dentist.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's done a lot of voice work. That's all I saw.
Yeah,
Barry.
Oh my God, Barry! Wow,
how funny is that? So they're accused of murder in this backwater town in Alabama, which they just made up the name. There's no Wazoo, Alabama, and his Ralph Macchio's cousin Vinny arrives with his girlfriend Mona Lisa Vito, Marissa Tomei, in her controversial Oscar-winning role. And so it's up to Vinny to save the Karate Kid from jail, even though he's never tried a case at all. He's a personal injury lawyer. But Marissa Tomei winning an Oscar, do you want to discuss that?
Why is it controversial? She was fantastic.
Because there were 4 British actresses nominated. And
without looking at Google, who are they?
Oh, I have no idea.
Exactly.
Do you, Joe? Do you know who they were?
I had to look it up because I couldn't fucking remember who the hell they are. And I looked it up yesterday after watching the movie.
And I forgot today.
Don't remember. Yeah, I still don't remember who the hell they are.
And no, there was an audible gasp at the Oscars because she hadn't won any awards leading up to this moment.
Well, it's also like her first big movie. You know, I mean, she had been in minor things at this point, so it comes out of nowhere. But this is a role that stands the test of time. She is hysterical in this movie. So the fact that we can't remember who she was running, nominated against at this point, I think is,
Amy, look that up.
Amy, look that up.
You got it.
Okay, so the role of Cousin Vinny was actually written for Andrew Dice Clay. But when his film debut, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, which was also a Fox movie, tanked. Fox decided to go in another direction.
Thank God.
It was a wise decision, yes.
He has an
Okay,
answer.
so
Amy has an answer.
Judy Davis, Joan Plowright,
wait,
Miranda
what
Richards.
movie? What movie? Judy Davis for?
No,
I think that was Passage to India, right?
Let me continue on. Continue.
Passage to
Ah!
India. Passage
Was
to
it?
India,
I
1980
have to look.
something.
Oh yeah.
Joan Plowright. Okay. Somebody for Howard's End, if I remember correctly. Joan Plowright. What the hell was that movie? Amy will find it. Let's.
I'll
All
find
right.
it.
So okay, so but and it's a pretty unassuming movie because it's a fish out of water story, like we've seen a million of those. But I think the real the real reason why this works
Let's
is
start
that,
over.
yeah, I don't know. Is that, and Joel will agree with me, I'm sure, is that Jonathan Lynn knows comedy. He's the director of this movie, and he has directed some, and he's not a big, well-known name, certainly. If you
No,
said
but-
Jonathan Lynn, nobody would know, but he definitely knows comedy, and this, it's seriously clever, and I was laughing out loud, not only because the script is terrific, but the cast is terrific. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in this movie who did not make me chuckle. Joe Pesci is amazing. He's so adorable, so appealing, so funny. It's like a perfect role for him. I mean, except for that wig he's wearing. And actually saw that somewhere it said that he was wearing things under his wig.
Yeah,
so
and then I looked for it when I read that trivia, and you could, his skin is totally like that on each side,
to
exactly the
make him
same
look
size.
younger. Yeah. All right, you got the answer to our supporting
Yeah,
actress.
Judy Davis was Husbands and Wives. Wasn't that Woody Allen?
Yeah, Woody
Yeah.
Allen.
Joan Plowright was Enchanted April, which we all
That's-
remember.
I didn't remember that.
Vanessa Redgrave was Howard's End.
Okay.
Miranda Richardson was Fatale/Damage.
Oh, Damage.
That
yeah.
I don't remember at all.
Louis Malle film.
I didn't see
Yeah.
any of those. I never even heard of them.
I've seen all of
really?
them, but not multiple times.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
and
this
I don't-
one.
and I don't remember the performances, quite honestly. They're great
Yeah.
actresses, but you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yes, and certainly this performance is
And,
hysterical.
You know, and just to quickly add to this whole brief conversation about the controversy over Marissa Tomei, it is a performance that holds up over time. You know, I mean, 30 years later, her performance is still amazing and it's funny.
Yeah,
you know?
that's interesting, Joel, because I didn't find anything about the movie dated. The only thing that
One thing
I thought would be a little cringeworthy today is the stuttering
yes,
of Austin
that's
Pendleton.
exactly.
That's the only thing that was a little cheap shot, I felt. But
He regrets that too. He thinks if you read interviews with him, he talks about he would never do that at this point in his life. He actually has a stutter, and he thinks he set his career back a little bit by agreeing to do that. So it's like, okay.
I would say yes and no. I mean, certainly it's probably the role he's most remembered for.
Yeah.
And granted, there's a lot of setup in that first hour. It really is, but it really all pays off so brilliantly. Like with any movie, I could trim 15 minutes out of it, but the second half is so hysterical. The whole courtroom thing and all the, and you even get so engaged in how is he going to work this out? He's got to work it out. And it's just so funny. And seeing Fred Gwynn, who is the perfect straight man, good Lord, such a great performance.
Yeah.
So I'm going with 3.5 stars on this one. I really enjoyed it. It actually was this was released when I was working at Fox in the publicity department. So I actually seen this movie quite a number of times back then. I haven't seen it since then. And Annie, I think you're right. I mean, I don't flip TV, but if I did, I certainly would just stop and watch because it really is that funny. Aim, do you agree?
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I loved it. I loved it then when I too was working at 20th Century Fox. And I don't
When
know
I was
when
working
I
at
was working at
Back,
Fox.
back in the 20th century.
Right.
yeah, exactly.
I don't remember if I'd seen it in the past 30 years. Maybe I had a couple of times. I remembered none of the movie except for all the really famous scenes, you know, the ticking, the biological clock, and every famous line.
Did you say Ute? What is a Ute?
Yeah, Ute, of course. And yeah, Frank and I to this day still say, yeah, you blend.
Yeah, you blend.
Yeah, we say it a lot. So I absolutely loved it. I probably think I might have even liked it more today than I liked it 30 years ago. I just thought it was terrific. I thought
it's beautifully plotted. I mean, wait, I want to ask though, when all the witnesses come up and talk about what they saw, where were they? We didn't see them at any point. I don't even know if there was a house or any houses across from that gas station.
Yeah.
When they're being you know, you see at one point Vinny going to interview them, and he interviews the older woman at her house and stuff, and that's when you realize what the, you know, how they could have seen things. So
you can see the sack of suds. You see the sack of suds through the window from where he is.
Right.
It was just so funny that, you know, and I get also, as you know, with any movie, you want to get to your main character, and it was a good 11 minutes till we met my cousin Vinny, so I could understand, you know, trying to cut to get to the point. Sorry, Aim. I'm sorry. You were saying?
That's okay. But you just led into the first time we see him. There's so many times where you have not mistaken identity, but those kind of scenes where it's a one person thinks a completely different thing than what's going on. Very big on shows like, you know, Three's Company. Yes. And so many times the script is written so that it falls into place, and you think to yourself, but that person never would have said that, because nobody would say that. I thought that scene was perfect. I thought every line Vinny said fit his narrative perfectly. It was brilliantly
wait, are you talking about when the kid thinks he wants to have sex with him?
Yeah.
And I personally was thinking, how much longer can it go on? And then another one came, and I thought, oh God.
Yeah, you're not going to jerk me off.
I think you should get down on your knees.
Yeah. Yes. Every single one was perfect. I could watch that scene over and over. To me, that's the best scene in the movie. I mean, the courtroom scene, of course, really is. And the guy who stutters, what's his nuts? He actually looked familiar to me. So
Austin Pendleton.
I must know him from other stuff, much more so than.
No, I think you think he's Griffin Dunn.
Oh my God, my Griffin Dunn. I thought he was brilliant. And when I read that he really was a stutterer, I was like, oh my God, no wonder why. He was so good. He was so funny. I thought he did a great job. But I did, of course, think, oh, they would never do that today. Unfortunately, I thought it worked great.
One star.
What?
1 star.
1 star, yeah.
I loved it. 1 star.
No, I'm giving this 1.5 stars.
That's how much I loved it.
No, I would definitely at least give this at least 3.5. I'll even go to 3.6. It was so enjoyable.
This does not go to 3.6.
It goes to 11.
Yes. Are you done with your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I just loved it. And the sad thing is, I bet there are people out there who have never seen it and think of it as, oh, just some stupid 90s comedy. They don't realize what a good movie it actually is. That's all.
Mark G.
I'll just start by saying with what Amy just said, it's funny. Three's Company specifically came to mind as well with the whole mistake. And in the first 15 minutes, there's like, all right, this is written right from that. I love
even when they're doing the confession and they're like, they think it's about the can of tuna.
Yeah.
And just brilliant writing, really.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that scene too, but it was the next one that I went, oh my God, this is brilliant.
Yeah. I love I shot the clerk.
I shot the clerk. I'm like,
and then when they bring that back at the end, and when they bring that back at the end to quote him, it's perfect. It really was smart. So yeah, I've seen this more times than I can count. I saw it in a theater too. I was 17 when it came out. The only reason it's not a remote dropper is because I have a horrible wife who thinks this movie is annoying.
Oh.
I can't defend her. I don't know why. We watched it maybe 10 years ago together. She laughed at it the whole time. And then ever since then, if I've said like, hey, you want to watch My Cousin Vinny? She's like, no, it's annoying. I'm like, what? You laugh at it. I can't explain it.
Did you ask her why she thinks it's annoying?
Marissa Tomei's voice.
Oh, there are some people who are like that who.
As a New Yorker,
I think this would be a perfect part for Danielle, actually.
Yeah.
So maybe
In
she's
the meantime,
jealous.
she loved Flash Gordon, so.
Oh,
She's jealous. She's jealous of Marissa Tomei. That's what it is.
Exactly. There's too many funny scenes and quotable lines to list them. I mean, we just talked about some, but as you're going through it, I mean, it's like, geez, another one. And because I've seen it so many times, I knew a lot of these already. But as I think, Frank, you said, I just found myself smiling and laughing the whole time. It's fantastic. Marissa Tomei was not only perfect, she was younger than the two youths on trial. So, and I think I looked him up. Joe Pesci was 21 years her senior. So
Well, he was 49.
and she was 27.
And hence he had to have the pulling up.
Yeah, exactly. So I could have watched this again tonight. I'm actually, before I started watching it, I figured it would be a 3.5 star movie, but I'm actually going to give it 3.75. I enjoyed it that much.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The only other thing I forgot to say is how much I love Fred Gwynn. Oh my God, he was so good. He's the perfect Southern jerk.
I mean, look at it. Look at his
Great
face
guy.
right now in this picture.
Brilliant.
Just brilliant. And I want to also say that, he probably got the Southern accent because he actually played Big Daddy on Broadway in Cabin Hudson Roof. Yeah.
And I think I read he was born in New York.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And one of the trivia things said when Vinny, when he drives away at the very end, that he gives him the Fred Munster wave. I'm like, he does not. I mean, he went like this.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the Fred Munster, the
I remember this and I was waiting for it. Did you all catch when he shook his hand at the end, how it was like a baby's hand in Fred Gwynn's hand when he shook My Cousin Vinny's hands? I mean, the size difference was ridiculous.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say is I still, whenever I see either one of the two other trial lawyers or the sheriff in anything, I'm like, it's the guy from My Cousin Vinny.
Bruce McGill.
Right.
Yeah.
It was an Animal House.
And who?
He was
Oh, shit.
in Animal House.
Yeah.
Yes.
And who is the other lawyer?
Lane Smith.
Oh, Lane Smith. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So, Joel, are you joining the group?
Why wouldn't I?
I mean, enthusiastically, as we are.
Yes. First of all, okay. I saw this movie in the theaters when it came out. I probably have not seen it as many times as Mark. I've probably seen it maybe 3 or 4 times. I had not seen it in a long time.
Well, Amy and I want to thank you for supporting us at the time we were earning money.
I can't believe you said that because I just thought, I wanted to stick in. Thank you for your support, but I didn't want to interrupt you. That's funny.
And I obviously don't care about interrupting anybody.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. And it's been such a long time. I've since I last saw it, I had forgotten that Jonathan Lynn directed it and that Dale Launer wrote the script. And
wait, what else did Dale Launer do?
Ruthless People, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Oh.
These two guys have credits in comedy, so there was no
Yeah,
way.
but Jonathan Lynn directed Clue, which will.
Yeah, I know you're the only one who doesn't care about Clue.
It was awesome.
So yes, this may not be my favorite Jonathan Lynn movie. I kind of like Clue and Nuns on the Run just a little bit better.
Nuns on the Run. Oh my gosh.
But not by
Another
much.
Fox movie.
Yeah.
It's a funny film. There's nothing I can really add other than to say it's unfortunate that this was Fred Gwynn's last movie. That he
Why
passed
is that
away.
Unfortunate? This is a good one to go out on.
Well, because he died.
Yes, but he died.
Yeah, I mean, Gene Hackman's last movie was
Welcome to Mooseport. Somebody's got to drag his ass out of retirement.
So you don't want that to be your last movie.
No, but apparently he does. So, and I also mentioned the fact that there are a lot of lawyers who like the fact that the film actually
It's very
shows.
lawyerly.
Yeah, it's not like watching, the umpteenth bazillionth episode of Law and Order or things like that.
Or Runaway Jury, which we will get to shortly.
Yes. It's a movie that's been used in legal classes as a teaching aid at times. So
well, Jonathan was a lawyer.
Yeah, he was a lawyer. Yep. So it's a funny movie. I'll watch it again at some point because it'll come up. Is it a remote dropper? I don't know. I've never come across it, so I couldn't tell you. But I will give it. I'll give it a 3.5. So.
Well, Annie, looks like you picked a good one. What do you say now?
So like I said, we
finally
watched it as kids, and my friends Doug and Michelle, they have 2 boys who are about my kids' age, and we've all watched it together. That when Amanda got married, Doug and Michelle they drove down to North Carolina for the wedding. They actually did a little side tour, went down that road, went to the Sack of Suds, ended the whole courthouse, drove the roundabout of the courthouse, and stopped at the Sack of Suds and got tuna fish.
Oh my God.
That's how much we love the movie, right?
I love that.
Yeah, so they did the whole little tour thing, but it's just something that's in our vernacular now. So whenever we go to a new place, we say, I bet the Chinese food here is terrible. Like that's anytime we go anywhere new, we always say that.
Well, I got news for you. The Chinese food here is terrible.
Yeah, in most places it is. So we were actually iced in Memphis or Nashville one time. We were on our way down to Dallas, had to switch planes, but got iced in. So we ordered you could either get pizza or Chinese food, right? So we ordered from the Chinese restaurant, which I look at the menu is Chinese / sandwiches. And I'm like,
Sandwiches are big Chinese food.
Right. So then I said, okay, we'll just order Chinese food because I don't really like pizza. So I say, okay, let's just get a soup. How bad could a soup be? There's no soup on the menu. No wonton soup, no egg
drop soup.
Nothing. So we ordered chicken and broccoli and lo mein. How bad could that be? 3 hours later, it took for them to deliver.
Oh my God.
At that point, we were like, forget it. And it was so bad. So we just find that funny because the Chinese food is terrible. And and anytime we go somewhere where the store is closed, we're like, the whole store is closed due to the flu. Everybody's sick. Yeah, those are like our favorites. I always wonder though if when Marissa Tomei gives her whole car thing, and
I just love the way she says posittraction. I don't know what it is, but when she says it, it's great.
Annie, if you read the IMDb trivia, it tells you what she got right and what she got not so right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I always wonder if she was like, and of course it's like, no one can answer the question. It's a trick question.
Yeah.
But then when she gives it to him, it was like perfect, that we love that. So it's just fun. We literally quote from it all the time. So to watch it with us is really annoying because we will say it all.
Danielle will watch it with you.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing though about Marissa Tomei. Not even her lines. Just when she first sits down at in the testimony and she doesn't look at him. Just that, and when right before that happens, when she's staring at him without saying a word because he pissed her off, saying that she cracked the case with him in the shower. Just her stare. It does remind me a little bit of Danielle too. I've been there, so it's like, oh shit.
You've been on the other end of that stare.
I've been on the other end of the stare. Yeah.
That is great.
My one nit to pick is that when he had to say that he wasn't Jerry Gallo, but Callow with a C, he never told her that.
Oh.
What he said.
That's also in the trivia, in the goops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was always my one thing. It's like, how
Well,
did
I
you
mean,
know?
he could have told her in a scene we didn't see.
That I thought the same thing, but Annie is right. In the Goofs, it says the next time they're together, this and that, and that's it. There was no other time for them to have been together. I was like, okay.
So I have a dumb question then. Why did he have to lie at all to the judge? Couldn't he just say this is my first case?
Well, I think the judge had to decide whether or not he would let
Yeah.
him practice in Alabama.
Right.
So if he had
Maybe he
no
was
credentials, he would have
qualified.
said no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
But a lawyer who's got his license in New York would never be able to try a case alone in Alabama anyway. There's a lot of little things like that too.
Right, they'd have to have a co-chair. Is that right?
Yeah,
And
Coachella.
who is licensed in
Coachella.
Alabama?
Yeah.
A Coachella?
Yeah.
All right.
So
All right.
I
So
picked it because it's a 4-star movie for me. I will watch it anytime. It's just so much fun. And, you know, it's a fun family movie. So when the kids are together, we like to watch it.
With a lot of
and
cursing.
you don't mind talking about anal raping and stuff with your children?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. Good. That's a good mother.
I just want to toss in one quick thing, just because we're talking about things that don't make sense. So they were trying to make a sequel to this for eons, and it obviously never happened. But apparently there is a book series. It's 3 books, and one of which is a novelization of the actual
movie,
film.
yeah.
So I had some credits on Amazon. I'll let you know how they are.
You bought them?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
how
did.
funny is that? So they're
So-
further adventures of
Yeah,
Mona Lisa and
and yeah, Vinny. So they were trying to
That's
set them up
funny.
as kind of a Nick and Nora Charles kind of thing, but you know, with a
well, I mean, they work perfectly together, really.
Yeah.
They really do. And the age difference never even occurred to me. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is along the same lines for us as we're the Millers. Have you guys seen that?
That's another movie that
The
you
Fox
watch a lot.
movie.
Oh yeah,
Is
no,
it?
yeah, like the kids and I, like we
Search
watch
Light.
that with the kids all the time. Like
Oh, wow.
just hysterical for
Well,
us.
now we have our first movie for 2023. Okay. Okay, so great. We all loved My Cousin Vinny, and if you have not seen it, you should watch it. It's on HBO Max. Next Monday, we will be watching the 2014 Oscar-winning Best Picture, Birdman or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, which is also Annie's choice, but it's here because it won for Best Picture, and we are ramping up to the Oscars. Ramping up. And that's it. I'm Frank Gaffney. Go watch a movie.
And also with you.